And hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Breakdown. Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as we are here for the college football roundtable. It has returned, and we are currently live now, as this is the beginning of the 2028 season here on College Football 25, as the Ohio State takes on the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And Shadow Knight X, Brian's like, John, relax. Look, I am relaxed. I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm just enjoying some college football, brah. By the way, I have a feeling that the New York Knicks are going to win the NBA championship, because the way Oklahoma City and San Antonio are playing, look, the New York Knicks are going to be the fresher of those two teams, whichever teams they face. And if it's the Spurs, then the Knicks are going to absolutely destroy Wemby. And so now, here we go now. Alabama with the ball. Alabama's going to run it. And James Woods, number 21, gets down to Ohio State's 36.
Nice job on this offensive line. The back gets behind him, picks up some positive yards.
Man, a lot of buffering. Man, I'm so glad to have each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, watching around the world. And so now here we go. Alabama going to do a little screen pass. By the way, Brian, what do you think of our home state, Virginia Tech Hokies, hiring James Franklin? Look, do I expect the Spurs to be in the finals? No. I think SGA and the Thunder are going to make it back to the championship finals. I mean, they've been there before, but I just feel like both teams in the Western Conference are tired. They're beat up. And I think the New York Knicks are the fresher of the two teams. Now, I think one of their players for the Knicks has a broken pinky, I think. Like, SGA just could not stay out of foul trouble, and then that's the reason why Oklahoma lost the way that they did. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, click like and sub to Shadow Knight X. Check out his YouTube as well. And Alabama draws first blood here in this early season matchup here, week 1, as Alabama representing the ACC. Yes, I said ACC. Look, he caught that. That was a touchdown. I don't know why y'all are challenging it, because if you look, he had both feet in. He San Antonio Holmes'd it. And so Alabama, 4 plays, 78 yards, a minute and 11 seconds. Now, a lot of people have been wondering if Alabama should go to the ACC and leave the SEC, because, let's be honest, the SEC isn't what it used to be. Georgia's kind of still relevant. Like, conference play-wise, we didn't do well this year in bowl games. Like, Alabama still isn't the Alabama that we knew. And I honestly think the days of the Southeastern Conference being the creme de la creme of where you want to play at are over, because of the NIL and because of the Big Ten. I mean, look at Indiana. Indiana's the first team in this playoff era, since we've gotten the playoffs, to go undefeated, run the table, and win the national championship. And they did it with players that were 25 and older. And I think if you wanted to fix college football, you need to get rid of all this fifth-year eligibility crap, cap the NIL to where once you transfer, you are at that school for a minimum of a year, and then you can hop back in the portal again. That way, you're not losing so much turnover rate. And that's what's been the downfall of these great teams like Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. Look, going back to Clemson, like I was talking with a Clemson fan yesterday when I was at work. He was a diehard Clemson fan. And he was saying that Dabo Swinney's one of the last old school coaches to not use the NIL. He's using word of name and the fact that he's won national championships as a way to recruit. But at the same time, with the NIL, you're not going to be able to recruit the way that you were. And a lot of people think that that's the reason why Nick Saban retired when he did, was because of the NIL. No. Look, Nick Saban was 73 years old when he retired. Had Nick Saban been 61 or even 59, he would still be at Alabama, even with the NIL, and I guarantee you nothing would have changed. He would still be winning. It's just some of the coaches like Dabo Swinney, Mike Gundy, refuse to embrace the NIL. And some people think that the NIL is ruining college football. Look, again, if you cap it and you have them stay at the school for a minimum of 1 to 2 years, it gives a chance not only to, recruit better, it also gives your boosters time to, get more money. That way you can go out and get these 5-star, 4-star recruits. And so Alabama now taking a 14-0 lead, thanks to special teams. Now, if I'm looking at my way too early top 25, my number one team is the reigning national champions, Indiana. Curt Cignetti is still at Indiana. They have reloaded. They had a great senior class that went in the NFL draft. And I think that Cignetti, being a disciple of Nick Saban, he knows how to win, and he knows how to navigate the transfer portal. And plus, I think Indiana, not Notre Dame, is going to become the battle. Is going to be the battle-hardened team that they've made it now. Can they go back to prove that they were just not a one-hit wonder? My number 2 team is Ohio State. Ohio State got bounced out of the playoffs early. A lot of people were wondering, is Ryan Day championship year coach? Is Justin Sayin the real deal? Ohio State had issues along the offensive line and the defensive line. They had great wide receivers, but their wide receivers weren't healthy at times either. And that goes back to strength and conditioning. I think Ryan Day is going to have to figure things out. Beat Indiana this year, because Indiana beat them like 13-10, or sorry, was it 13-10 or 20-10? Indiana trounced them. But that's going to be, if I'm Ohio State, that's the game that I'm circling on my calendar, in the off season, because they're going to hear about how Indiana went undefeated. And then, if you're looking in the ACC, my number 3 team, and I can't believe I'm saying this. But again, this is my too early top 25. The number 3 team that I believe that is going to break out and possibly win it all this year is the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, I'm from Virginia. I grew up a Hokie fan, but I was raised in an Alabama household. So most of the time we didn't talk about Virginia Tech football, but what Frank Beamer did at Virginia Tech, James Franklin's kind of getting back to the way Beamer had that team. He's going to have a great special teams coach. He's going to have a great defense. And I think if Tech can limit the offensive woes, because Tech should have a easy enough schedule that they could easily win the ACC championship, because Clemson's kind of fallen off. The reigning ACC champions are Duke. This is the first time Duke has ever won a ACC championship in football. I mean, they beat UVA because UVA fumbled it and didn't come out and play like everyone thought that they would. And Shadow Knight X is asking John, what team should LeBron go to? Oh, fumble. So that is a loaded question because I actually think LeBron should take his talents and go to the Golden State Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs, because the Spurs could actually afford him. And can you imagine Wemby and LeBron passing the torch to this next generational player? And I think LeBron wins his 5th and final championship with the Spurs if he goes to the Spurs. Or, I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but why not go back to Cleveland? Cleveland can't afford him right now. I mean, they would have to give up a lot to get him, but he is a free agent. He is a free agent, so you know, I mean, you could sign him, ask him to take like a pay cut to come home, and then you would have James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron James. That's a three-headed monster I wouldn't even want to deal with. But Brian, let me ask you, who do you think he should go to? Should LeBron go to the Washington Wizards and, you know, play with Anthony Davis one last time? And so now we are here on defense now.
All he could do is throw it to his back and loss of yards. Now you're behind the sticks.
Mighty space in the 20. And the defense wraps him up.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this offense loved.
Why would you say the Brooklyn Nets? Okay, that's an interesting choice. Why the Brooklyn Nets? Are you is that because of Kyrie Irving? Oh, well, wait, Irving's with the Dallas Mavericks, but I mean, why Brooklyn? Why do you think Brooklyn should go after LeBron James? And what's up, Frostbite? Glad to have you on. We're talking everything sports here on this roundtable. Well, I think it's mutual. I don't think LeBron wants to go back to the Lakers because the Lakers dissed him, according to all reports. And I wouldn't want to play for a team that look, I just became the NBA all-time leading scorer, and you're going to give the game ball to the coach instead of acknowledging that I just passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I just broke a record that stood for over 40 years. 40 years, something that Michael Jordan never did. You know, and yes, the Lakers, you know, drafted Bronny, but Bronny's coming into his own player, and you know, I think the Lakers. Here's my problem with Los Angeles. They went out and they got Luka Doncic. Doncic has not been healthy. Neither has Austin Reeves. Between the two, I would rather keep Austin Reeves and I would cut Luka Doncic because Doncic was non-existent during their playoff run. Here's the thing: a 41-year-old LeBron James with that bench eliminated the Houston Rockets, the heavily favored Houston Rockets, might I add. The Lakers had no business beating Houston. I would let Luka go because Luka cannot be healthy. When he is healthy, great. When he's healthy, you know, he's proven that, you know, he can win. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm getting at. LeBron James spends over $1 million on his body. If I'm Luka Doncic, I do whatever LeBron's doing to, you know, get my body in, you know, tip-top shape for the upcoming season.
settling down in his own defense, just kind of finding that
And you see,
spot. So not only does this tight end show that he's got great athletic ability and great size, here he shows that he understands coverage by sitting down in that hole, giving the quarterback a nice target, able to pick up that first down.
no, he's not. Look, Brian. He had a hamstring issue that lasted throughout the almost. Let's see. He got injured at the end of May, or sorry. He got injured at the end of March or April, and you had a 41-year-old LeBron James beating Houston, a much younger Houston team. And he basically did it almost single-handedly. Yes, he had a great bench, but when it came to battling the Oklahoma City Thunder, they only had him and Austin Reeves. Had they had all three, it'd be we might be talking a different playoffs right now. And they paid Luka all that money. Yes, look, I don't care what he did during the regular season. It counts. It matters in the playoffs. You pay this man so much money to win you a championship, and if you can't stay, this is why Dallas got rid of him, because Luka could not stay healthy. And they are now in the mode of building around Luka. Yes, Luka is still in his prime. Could he still be a dominant player? Yes. But it's not going to matter if he doesn't take care of his body. Now, me personally, you say LeBron should go to the Nets. I think he should go to Golden State. I think LeBron should go to Golden State and play with Steph Curry. Can you imagine Draymond, LeBron, and Steph Curry on a team? And Malik Hobbs, the junior here for Alabama, first interception of his career against the Buckeyes. And right now, Alabama is shellacking the Buckeyes of Ohio State 42-0 in this opening season matchup. And here's the thing. If LeBron wants to win a championship, get J.J. Redick out as head coach. Look, J.J. Redick has done a great job, but he hasn't won a championship in his 3 seasons there. Okay, all right. I would rather get Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd has proven not only he can win it as a player, but when it comes to basketball IQ, like Dallas should not have fired him. Okay, look, the Mavericks have made mistake after mistake after mistake. You let Luka go, and now you fire Jason Kidd. And if I'm Kyrie Irving, I want to get out of Dallas because you're not going to win a championship there. And so right now, Ohio State's getting dominated 42-0 here. And now going back to my top 25 early season predictions, I had Indiana, Ohio State, Virginia Tech as 1, 2, and 3. My number 4 team that I believe that could win the national championship this year is LSU. And here's the reason why I'm saying LSU. They went out and they got the king of of offense, Lane Kiffin. The last 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, the Ole Miss Rebs have led the nation in offense. And now you're saying, but John, they didn't win a national championship. Correct. But at LSU, Lane Kiffin has the boosters. He can show off his one championship ring when he was the offensive coordinator for Nick Saban. And he can be like, look, I can go out and I can win you a national championship. Yes, Bubba, I see it, okay? There. And also, ladies and gentlemen, look at the staff that Lane Kiffin has assembled. He brought back Coach O. He brought back the man who last led LSU to a national championship with Joe Burrow. And Lane Kiffin is going back to what made LSU great. They bring back that nucleus of coaches that can relate to the players and get that offense going. And I believe that they're going to have the defense, it's going to be a very, very interesting schedule for Lane Kiffin. Now, I will say this, Brian Kelly, great football coach. He never should have been at LSU. He alienated the LSU people when he got there. But that defense that's there has Brian Kelly's fingerprints all over it.
Getting set to kick the ball off now.
So, we will see what happens.
He's going to return it from near the goal line.
You like your car, Bubba's?
He'll be tackled at the
Yeah, you see your engine? Yeah.
coverage there.
So,
And the Ohio State offense comes back onto the field.
but
Down here, time for
the number 5 team that I have that could win the national championship this year, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of people is going to laugh at me for this one. I actually think the South Carolina Gamecocks could win it all this year. Shane Beamer has that team ready and roaring to go. What, boys? Yeah, engine. You see the engine? Yeah, it's a blue engine.
Gotta give a lot of credit to the defense. They have really negated that aspect of this offense the entire first half.
And so we're not even out of the second quarter right here. 2-minute warning here. Ohio State's trying to get something going. And this is the problem with Ohio State quarterbacks. They tend to hold on to the ball a little too long. He's going to throw it. And incomplete. And so now we're going to give Ohio State a mercy rule here. And oh, good God. And so Ohio State gets absolutely creamed.
gave them a chance to win this football game, but they come up with a
There you
signature
go.
upset.
I think we're as surprised as anybody with how this game really played out.
And so Alabama, Sean Sharp, the junior out of Roanoke, Virginia, 174 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here.
And Sharp
I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation.
was definitely sharp in his debut here for the Alabama Crimson Tide.